In the 1980s, there were very few institutes in the world. One existed in Strasbourg and one existed in Holland, and that's it. And I thought it was a need for an institute in the field of human rights and humanitarian law as well. And to bring the two branches of law together, I think, was also important. And that's why I found it essential and look into the possibilities to establish an Institute of Human Rights and Humanitarian Law in Sweden. And a colleague of mine, Leif Holmström, and I had succeeded to get a small grant from a Swedish foundation to establish an institute. So it was quite easy then to do that. We were actually the first Human Rights Institute in the Nordic countries. 1 week after we have established the institute, it was also established, I think it was in Norway, 1 week afterwards. And they cannot forgive us for that it was 1 week ahead. And I think it was essential to do that. It was, and just be quite successful. I think it was important to do it. First of all, the Institute has changed considerably since 1984. We started, Leif Holmström and I, in 1984, 2 persons, and then we asked a third person also to work together with us. So that means actually from the very beginning in 1984, we were 3, sometimes 4 persons working with the Institute. So obviously the Institute has grown considerably. But in 2 ways. First of all, we have the educational activities in Lund in cooperation with the law faculty, which in my view has been quite a success, the so-called master program in human rights law, which is still on. And when we started the master program in 1991, a similar program only existed at one other university in the world, namely in Essex in UK. So we started the second program in human rights law. And still I think there are too few universities in the world having master's program in human rights law. It's such a desire from students in all over the world to have similar programs. Lund is a nice city, without any doubt, but I can't understand why the annual number of applications for the master program in Lund amounts to about 1,000 every year. And I think the reason is probably that there are too few universities having a similar program. So that has one part of the program which I think was a success and will continue. What then also has been changed since we started the Institute is of course the cooperation with SIDA, which started slowly in 1990 or 91, and that has increased considerably. So now it's the most important or a most important part of the activities of the Institute, where the Institute has activities in a number of developing countries when it comes to developing human rights, education and cooperation with various stakeholders in developing countries. So that has definitely led to an increase of activities of the Institute.